comedy should never be touched. You know, like comedy is like the purest form of freedom of speech. You know, if someone gets it wrong, they get it wrong, innit? If someone goes too far, they go too far. But you have to understand it's in the comedy, innit? And they'll, and like, I'm sure if a comedian goes too far, they'll apologize straight away. They'll be like, look, I went too far. I apologize. I won't do it again. Keep it moving. But have you ever like come across any of that? And what do you think about that in general? About like the whole freedom of speech in comedy and like the sensitivity part?
The freedom of speech in comedy, it should put it this way. For me, like you should be able to express and say what you want to say, regardless in like life itself. Yeah, because in life you wouldn't like to be capped. If you've got something on your heart and you need to say, you should. But when it comes to inform of entertainment, please know that it's entertainment and it's not personal. Like I noticed that there's comics out there that are racist, yeah, and I know that they get a kick out of having, you know, their punchlines being listened to. They practice, they've done what they've done. Like I'm not gonna take it offensive, but there are jokes where be like, hey, you need to like kind of write that so it's friendly to everybody, you know, across the board. Like I've been to like a whole Indian set, and they looked at me and they said, well, I see, that wasn't great, but you saved yourself because you just used certain words and mixed it with your own culture at the same time.
Yeah.
Because like I would break it down and say, like, it's funny how like Asian peoples will say bumperclot, yeah? Bumperclot. And then that's a Jamaican term, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So and then they're like, no, you're not West Indian, you're Sri Lankan. So I use them type of jokes. So they like the color bias and all sorts, like the shade of skin. So it's like we go through it, you go through it, we share the same humor, and that's how I, you know, try to include everybody in stuff like race and feeling uncomfortable and stuff like that. Freedom.
Yeah, but I think there's like. I think people like to be taken the mick out of, like in a good way, like bro, like I think that's serious. You want to laugh, you want to have a good time. That's why you're a comedian. That's why comedians do so well.
Yeah,
and like I think people, in my opinion, like the sensitivity issue when it comes to comedy is strange to me. Unless something's like my favorite comics like Frankie Boyle. Like that kind of.
You are a bad man.
But Frankie Boyle, I've watched his stuff on YouTube, like the old stuff, like where he was allowed to say it on TV, you know, and like sometimes you're like, bruh, that's too far. But so okay, cool, big deal. Yeah. Like you get offended, all right. I haven't died, I'm still living. Like if I don't like him, I won't listen to him. I listen to somebody else.
Exactly. You know, like it's funny you say Frankie Boyle. It's funny. Sorry to cut you. It's funny you say Frankie Boyle because I've actually seen him live about 5 times already for free. Because I'm doing security. I used to do security for Leicester Square Theatre.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, and he used to have like his sets where he'll have a board and he'll have all his latest jokes. And he used to write them down and be like, okay, cool. Well, your mum died of cancer, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, but it's funny because people laugh because they know Frankie Boyle is literally going to offend you. If you get up if you get up out your seat and try and walk when he's doing his set, he's going to cuss your mum. He says, I hope your mum died of cancer. I hope all of you died. Listen, you are going to get anal sex in the bathroom. He goes in. And I'm like, it's so funny because everybody laughs as well. And it's very offensive, humorous comedy. It's very dark humor, but he is the king when it comes to man. Frankie Boyle, man.
He's the king, man. And I think but that's the thing though. Like you know what you're getting yourself into when you go to a Frankie Boyle show, isn't it? Like that's what you pay for it. That's what you want because he is that comic.
Exactly.
But I've seen Frankie Boyle in a car that they did something together like once, and I went to the show. And he was doing something that was...
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And then he gave a whole speech, right? Like, not comedy, like a whole speech. And you realize how intelligent and how kind, how compassionate, like, he actually is. Like, his comedy is his comedy. But who he is as a person is completely separate to that. He just likes taking it to the extreme because he finds that funny. And, like, I think we get, like, comedy's art. Right, like in my opinion, it's an art form, and it's an expression of people's art, you know. And it's not really who they are. Like they can. even though they use you must use your personal life in your comedy, you're still
always
exaggerating. But you're still exaggerating. You're still going to the extreme because that's what makes it funny. And I don't get it. Like I think comedy is one of those art forms that is best left untouched, man. Like let the comedian do what he has to do, man. We're here just to be entertained, you know. Not many people can do what you guys do, man.
Exactly.
So like, but yeah, like, I've even seen stuff like in America where people like I get like comedians are performing like in universities and stuff, and then somebody will come and be like, "Oh yeah, sorry, like you're not allowed to do gay jokes, so you can't.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? What's happened? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's hard like that as well because obviously certain people, we are living in times where people like to cancel stuff a lot. Like the cancel culture, like the 2019 was ridiculous for cancel culture. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was ridiculous before then. It's like, what subject that is going on in life? How can you not talk about them? How can you not talk about like a homosexual issue? How can you not talk about transgender issues? How can you not talk about black? How can you not talk about white? How can you not talk about Asians? How can you not talk about jobs and all these things that basically people that live through them? And, you know, how can you... This is the thing for me. I say, when it comes to comedians come and give you news.
Yeah.
We're the news broadcasters.
Yeah.
Just like a poet. A poet will definitely give you the news through what they, you know what I'm saying, the message.
Yes.
Like before there was even TV, my dad would call it the tell-lie-vision. Tell-lie-vision. Yeah. Before there was even that, there was performance. Like Shakespeare would have been doing on the stage and giving people the news.
100%.
You know, through his plays, his poetry, whatever the case may be. Mozart would be doing it through his music. He'll be telling you this is sad, this is happy, this is rocky, whatever the case may be. So like we've been doing this for so many years, but we've been coming into a culture where people have to have a say in something. Like I don't like that. I'm sensitive. It's a sensitive culture right now. It's too sensitive. I don't get it, man.
Yeah, and
I don't get it.
For me, it's like, okay, I'm offended. Okay, look, there's levels to this, isn't it? Yeah, like there's levels to it.
Exactly.
Like if a BBC like program, a serious program, was talking about, if a BBC program was talking about like Asians and stuff and doing it in a bad light, I'd be like, that's not right. You know, you're giving information, and that shouldn't be. That should be factual. You know, if a comedian's giving a set and he offends you, good. In my opinion, okay, like all right, okay, you don't have to go see the person again. Number one,
exactly.
Number two, it's like it's good to know what you don't like and what you do like, and just keep it moving. Just keep it moving. There's too much of good stuff in life to get caught up about these things, and especially like an art form like comedy. And as you said, like quite correctly, like when you guys speak to me, I understand what the time is. You know, this is like it's you know like if you look at 10 years ago, people might be speaking about the crash that happened, right? Or 9/11. This and the other, and comedians use that energy and make it different, you know, and make it a form that's digestible, where you can laugh at it. And I think like it's a look, I get it as well. Like these issues are important. The homosexuality issue, all these issues are very important. But that makes it even more important that comedians are allowed to speak about it, because it enters another dynamic. And someone like me who probably doesn't know anything about it can, oh wow, raw.
Exactly.
Fair enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.